Welcome back to the Get Off the Treadmill podcast for small business owners and entrepreneurs, where we show you how to build a successful business and to have a life too. We're going to dive into another topic that helps us make more money in less time and to get off the treadmill so we can experience a life of significance. And now, your host and the author of the #1 best-selling business book, Making Money is Killing Your Business, Chuck Blakeman.
Hi, this is Chuck Blakeman. Today, I want to talk to you about the tyranny of the urgent. This is something I had to figure out for my own business, as is everything I'm going to share with you. I found myself running really hard, doing lots of stuff, feeling very productive, and seeming to be in the same place. I don't know if you've experienced the same thing. Have you ever looked at the pile of to-dos, the financials, the customer list, and how you're feeling about it all, and had what we call the blinding flash of the obvious, or BFO, thanks Art Radke for that this month looks pretty much like the same month last year. January 1 looks like January 1 of a year ago, July 1. It just kind of looks the same. As much as you planned and hoped for something different, like the movie Groundhog Day, it's feeling like Groundhog Year, an unwelcome deja vu. In 2007, after years of struggling with this myself, a BFO finally emerged that held the answer to this question for me, and now for thousands of others who have had the same BFO. As I was trying to figure this out, I realized that there are two opposing forces that come at us every day in business and probably in life. See if you agree. Every day when we wake up, before we even open our eyes, we're faced with two opposing forces: the tyranny of the urgent and the priority of the important. The urgent things come flying at us all day, trying to force us to react, fight, and defend, like phones, texts, emails, customer requests, and people lining up outside your office like you're the DMV. It never ends. We run from one urgent task to another, or worse yet, attempt to manage many urgent tasks at once, gleefully, and according to neuroscience, mistakenly calling ourselves multitaskers. The urgent things are tyrannical. They want to rule over us. They demand to. They come and find us. Like young, unruly kids, they scream, yell, poke, and prod relentlessly for our attention. We don't have to find the urgent things. They always come and find us and demand our attention. And we become reactive. Over time, we resign ourselves, to the idea that this must be normal, simply because our business taught us to live this way. So we complied and became reactive. And besides, again, all my business owner friends, they seem to be living reactively too. Welcome to the business treadmill. Let's get the heck off this thing. So we learned quickly in business, every one of us learns very early on that the business game is about getting things done and fast. Making sales, responding to customers, ordering materials, making the chairs, delivering the chairs, collecting checks, responding to team members, and paying our urgent monthly bills. And it works. We got through the first month and we paid all our bills. Well, the next month comes around with all its urgency. And so we just naturally repeat this, quote unquote, successful reactive cycle. Doing this 1 month at a time, day after day, month after month, year after year, it's easy to see how after a year or 2 or 10, we could end up right where we started, still making sales to pay bills, but never really getting the freedom in our business that we had dreamed of when we started. You and I, and most of the business owners around us, have been conditioned to just keep changing business diapers for decades, never expecting our business to grow up and function even a little bit without us. You might even be thinking about selling your business and being free from this tyranny. But there is a way to get freedom in our business, not from it. Don't sell until you've walked through this podcast with us. The solution for me was figuring out the difference between the urgent and the important, and that BFO that came in around that. So I was sitting in my desk one day, wringing my hands over all the tyranny of the urgent, all the things happening. And sitting over in the corner of my office was the priority of the important. The priority of the important will never come find you. You have to go find it. You have to be proactive. And it was just whispering to me, I know you're really busy, don't want to butt in, but when you've got a moment, I might actually be able to help you solve some of that tyranny permanently. Over time, I learned that we solve the urgent by focusing on the important and by viewing one-off problems as chronic obstacles. We'll get to that later. We need to stop solving one-off problems and do the chronic obstacle solving, because solving one-off problems is making money myself and Chronic obstacle solving is building a business that makes money. For years, every time we hired someone, we would scramble to figure out, how to get them onboarded with all the complexities that come with that. And we usually found out a lot of what we hadn't done by running into it. It was always a tyrannical, distracting, time-consuming struggle. We didn't know who was doing what. We were all trying to help. Then one day we stopped and we did something important that had never been urgent. We built an onboarding map, everything we needed to know and to do to bring someone on successfully and easily. And then somebody volunteered to own the map. And now onboarding almost seems to happen on its own. The problem, which was reinventing the hiring wheel every time, was gone because we focused on the underlying obstacle, building a process to help us onboard somebody and have somebody own that process. Now, the solution to the urgent isn't always a process. It could be a myriad of other things. I'm just giving you this one as an example. For years, the onboarding process wasn't urgent. It was just important. Kind of a sad thing to say. Yeah, it's not urgent. It's just important. Important things are almost never urgent, which results in remaining hostages to the urgent because we never solve the important. Think of all the wheels we're constantly reinventing and the amount of time and energy we could invest in actually moving our business forward if we weren't doing these urgent things over and over again. Groundhog Year would be a thing of the past, one solved obstacle at a time. So let's look at how to solve an obstacle. How to permanently solve the urgent is by not solving the urgent. The process for solving the obstacle is simple. It's just not convenient because it's not urgent. We got to stop to solve the obstacles. Turn all your problems into obstacles and solve the obstacles, not the problems. Why? It's real simple. A problem will reoccur. An obstacle is overcome. It's put to bed permanently. And as a result of putting the obstacle to bed, the related problem is gone too permanently. So let's look at the simple, powerful difference. Let's approach something like it's a problem. So we'll use our onboarding thing. Hey, the problem is somebody quit. It's a bummer, but we got to do something. So what's the solution? Well, we need to hire someone to replace them. And I can't tell you how many times we did that. Ouch. Welcome to the rehiring treadmill. That problem will continue and maybe even increase. Let's turn that problem into an obstacle with one simple, powerful, enduring, important business question. Why? Why is the most important, least asked question in business? We'll have a podcast on that. But you use why to turn problems into obstacles. So let's readdress this problem and let's turn it into an obstacle. Okay? So it's no longer a problem. Well, it's still a problem. We'll call it a problem to begin with. What's the problem? Somebody quit. Okay, well, how do we make that into an obstacle? The question why. Why did they quit? All right, we've just moved from problem to obstacle. And we're going to look into why they quit. We're going to talk to them, talk to people around them. We're going to find out, was the pay too low? Was the training not good? Was the onboarding chaos? Did they not like the person they were working with or for? Was the ad confusing and represented something? Let's find out why they quit. Sometimes you can't do anything about it, but you would be surprised more often than not. It is an obstacle because obstacles are things you can fix. So we turned it into an obstacle. Somebody quit and we asked why, and we found the solution was not to rehire someone. That's part of this. That's kind of the big duh. But the solution is to fix the obstacle, whatever it was. If the pay was 50 cents or $5 too low, then change that. If the training was not good, create an onboarding map, figure it out, fix the obstacle permanently. And we did that by creating an onboarding map. And then we hired somebody. The likelihood of that problem reoccurring as much is very low now because we took the time to do the important thing that could never break through the ranting noises of all the urgency of having to hire somebody. If you want to get off the treadmill, stop. And if you want to permanently solve problems, stop reacting to those problems and start creating solutions to obstacles. Gradually, your business will grow up like mine did. And the tyranny of the urgent will give way to freedom in your business, not from it. And Groundhog Year will be a thing of the past. Hallelujah. And you can actually enjoy your business.
That wraps up another episode of the Get Off the Treadmill podcast. If you found this podcast helpful, please subscribe and hit the like button to ensure you are receiving the latest tools you need to grow your business and to get off the treadmill. If you want more information on the 3 to 5 Club, the Crankset Group, or to book Chuck as a business advisor, speaker, or workshop leader, you can contact us at grow@cranksetgroup.com. Until next time, have a great week.